China is building a 180-kilometer canal that could give Cambodia a direct trade route to the sea.
For decades, Cambodia has wanted this direct path from its inland economy to the open ocean.
On the map, Cambodia does not look trapped. It has rivers, a coastline, and access to the Gulf of Thailand. But in real trade, geography does not always work the way it looks on a map.
Cambodia's problem starts with a simple fact. The country has access to the sea, but its main economy sits inland. Phnom Penh is the political and population center, and one of the country's main economic hubs.
Many factories, warehouses, farms, and distribution networks connect to the capital or the provinces around it. So when goods leave this part of Cambodia, they need a reliable route to the ocean. That sounds easy until you look at the actual trade routes. One option is to send goods over land to Sihanoukville, Cambodia's main deep-water port.
This route gives Cambodia direct access to international shipping, and Sihanoukville has become one of the country's most important gateways.
But road transport can be expensive, traffic can slow movement, and long-distance trucking adds cost to every container. Another option is to use the Mekong system and move cargo through Vietnam's Mekong Delta. This route can make sense because rivers already connect Phnom Penh to the lower Mekong region. But it also means Cambodia relies on another country's infrastructure before its goods fully reach the sea. That dependence matters. When a country depends on a neighbor's ports, customs systems, and logistics networks, it does not fully control its own trade. Even if relations stay stable, exporters still deal with outside rules, fees, delays, and political pressure. For a small economy trying to grow manufacturing and exports, those extra layers can affect competitiveness. This is why Cambodian leaders talk about the canal as more than a transport project. They see it as a way to control more of Cambodia's own route to global markets.
The country is not landlocked, but parts of its economy face the same kind of pressure landlocked countries face.
Goods can move, but not always on Cambodia's own terms.
To understand why Cambodia is putting so much attention on this canal, we first need to look at what the project actually is.
The Funan Techo Canal is a planned waterway in southern Cambodia.
It is expected to stretch about 180 kilometers, connecting Cambodia's inland river system to the Gulf of Thailand. The idea is simple on paper. Take cargo from the river network, move it through a new canal, and send it toward the sea. The project is designed to pass through several southern provinces, including Kandal, Takeo, Kampot, and Kep. Today, many of them rely on agriculture, local trade, tourism, and smaller provincial economies. But if the canal becomes a working cargo route, this part of Cambodia could turn into a new transport corridor. One option is to send goods over land to Sihanoukville, Cambodia's main deep-water port.
Now, the canal's size also tells us what kind of project this really is.
Cambodia is not building a tiny irrigation channel, but it is also not building another Suez Canal or Panama Canal. The Funan Techo Canal is planned to be around 100 meters wide in some sections, around 80 meters in others, and about 5.4 meters deep. That is deep enough for regional cargo vessels.
In practical terms, Cambodia says the canal can handle ships of around 3,000 tons during the dry season.
And that actually makes sense for Cambodia. It is big enough to move serious regional cargo and to change Cambodia's access to the sea.
The project is planned for completion in 2028.
However, this canal did not appear suddenly. Cambodia has talked for years about improving its inland water transport and creating better links between the capital region and the sea. But the project gained serious momentum when the government turned the canal into a national priority and connected it to Chinese-backed infrastructure planning. The modern version of the project moved forward in 2023, when Cambodia and Chinese companies signed agreements linked to the canal's study and development.
That step mattered because it showed the project had moved beyond political speeches.
Cambodia was no longer only talking about the idea. It was starting to organize the route, the financing structure, the technical planning, and the companies that could build it.
Then came 2024. On August 5th, 2024, Cambodia held the official groundbreaking ceremony for the Funan Techo Canal.
The date carried significant meaning because it coincided with a major national celebration, marking a pivotal moment in the country's modern political history.
A major international infrastructure firm became central to the project.
Its subsidiary, China Road and Bridge Corporation, has also been linked to the canal's development and construction. These are not small companies. They have built roads, bridges, ports, and transport projects across Asia, Africa, and other parts of the world. For Cambodia, Chinese firms bring the experience needed for a project that combines excavation, water engineering, transport planning, and logistics infrastructure.
At first, the canal was widely described as a $1.7 billion project. Cambodian officials also spoke about China covering a major part of the cost.
But later reporting raised doubts about whether the financing had been fully secured. That created uncertainty, because a project of this size cannot move on political ambition alone.
Cambodia was no longer only talking about the idea.
Then Cambodia and China moved toward a clearer structure.
But later reporting raised doubts about whether the financing had been fully secured. The structure was presented as a public-private partnership under a build, operate, transfer model. That model matters. Under a build, operate, transfer system, private or foreign-linked investors help finance and build the project.
They then operated for a period of time to recover their investment and earn revenue.
After that operating period ends, the asset transfers back to the state.
For Cambodia, this structure can reduce the immediate pressure on the government budget.
Instead of paying the entire cost directly, Cambodia can bring in investors and contractors who share the financial burden.
Reports have described Cambodian investors holding 51% of the project company, while Chinese investors hold 49%.
That gives Cambodia majority ownership on paper, while still giving Chinese partners a major role in financing, construction, and technical delivery. China's role is one of the main reasons this canal has attracted so much attention.
Over the last 2 decades, international cooperation has become a cornerstone of the region's infrastructure development. Chinese companies have helped build roads, bridges, power plants, airports, and real estate projects across the country. In many parts of Cambodia, Chinese capital has already changed the physical shape of the economy.
So when they announced a major canal that could reshape trade routes, China's involvement did not come as a surprise.
Chinese firms bring something Cambodia needs: engineering capacity, construction experience, and access to financing.
A project of this scale requires huge upfront spending. For a developing economy, that kind of money can be hard to raise from local sources alone.
China can offer loans, investment models, contractors, equipment, and technical teams that can move projects from political promise to construction. But its interest is not only commercial. Cambodia sits in a highly strategic part of Southeast Asia.
A road is not only a road.
A port is not only a port. A canal is not only a canal. These projects shape trade, but they also shape relationships. The country that finances, builds, and operates major infrastructure often gains long-term influence over how that infrastructure connects to the rest of the region. For Cambodia, this partnership offers real advantages.
China does not usually place the same political conditions on infrastructure financing that Western lenders may require.
Chinese contractors can also work quickly, especially on large-scale projects.
Both sides gain something, but success will not come automatically. The canal has to attract real cargo. It has to work in the dry season and the wet season. It has to prove that the benefits reach more people than just contractors, investors, and landowners.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.